Welcome into Steelers Talk, Yinzers. I hope everyone had a great weekend. On today's show, I'm going to be breaking down some trade rumors surrounding your Pittsburgh Steelers. The first one coming from NBC Sports' Peter King, who says that the Steelers are the perfect fit to trade up for Georgia defensive tackle Jalen Carter. And then Budda Baker has officially requested a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. Should the Steelers consider trading for him to pair him with Minkah Fitzpatrick? Can't wait to break it down with you guys here today. But first, my bosses have told me that if we can get 500 likes on today's video, we can do a fan-led mock draft on Steelers Talk Live this Wednesday. We've done a couple of them on some other shows here at Chat Sports. They've been a great success. They're super fun. So if you want to have one in this week's Steelers Talk Live show, you got to click that thumbs up icon for me right now. All right, so now let's jump right into today's trade rumors. The first one coming from NBC Sports is Peter King, who says that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the perfect fit to go up and trade for Jalen Carter. This is what King had to say on potentially trading up for the potential star defensive tackle. I'll tell you that the team that is the most perfect fit for Carter in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who'd have to trade up from 17 to get him. Best rumor of the week: Steelers trading up from 17 to 9. If Carter is there would not be a more perfect coach for Carter than Mike Tomlin. Now, Jalen Carter, he's seen as a blue chip defensive tackle prospect. He was arguably the best player on the Georgia Bulldogs defense the last 2 years. And over the last 2 years, you could say that the Georgia Bulldogs have had one of the best defensive runs in college football history. And this guy, I can confirm this, by the way, on tape, he is the best player on that Georgia Bulldogs defense. He could be a truly special player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is probably what it would take for the Steelers to trade up to number 9 overall. We've talked about this scenario before in terms of going up and getting an offensive tackle, but now Peter King is saying that if Jalen Carter is there at number 9, the Steelers would probably consider taking Jalen Carter 9th overall, and they'd be willing to give up the number 49 overall pick to the Chicago Bears in order to switch spots in the first round. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Would you make this trade if it meant that the Steelers could go ahead and get Jalen Carter? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about that. For me personally, I think that I'm probably not going to do it, but I guess we're just going to have to see what I have to say here later on in the show. I'm going to be breaking down the pros and cons of going after Carter here in just a second. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so whenever you get an ad break here on the channel, just go ahead, go into the comment section, find that pinned comment. It'll be right there at the top, and answer yes or no to today's question. So first, let's talk a little bit about why it makes sense to draft Jalen Carter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plain and simply, this guy is a fantastic blue chip prospect, one of the best prospects I've ever seen as a draft evaluator. He had 32 tackles last year, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and even 3 pass breakups. This guy is a fantastic talent, and in my opinion, guys, this guy is a true unicorn. You just don't see defensive tackle prospects like this come around very often. The only guy that I have ever evaluated that had a higher or at the same amount of grade as Jalen Carter was Quinnen Williams, and he just made his first All-Pro team with the New York Jets last year. This guy is a very, very special talent. He's got great athleticism, size, pass rush. He's got everything, man. He's got the finesse, he's got the power, he's got the athleticism that you need from that true 3 technique. And personally, he's one of the best NFL draft prospects I've ever seen on film, period, point blank. This guy is a straight up special talent. But I wouldn't trade up for Jalen Carter personally. I'm going to explain some reasons here for that in just a second. But first, go ahead, do me a favor, and check out the brand new NFL draft channel that we have here from Chat Sports. If you're like me and you can't get enough NFL draft content, you want prospect analysis, prospect rankings, NFL mock drafts every single week, including 7-round mock drafts for most NFL teams leading up to the draft. You got to check it out, guys. You got to go youtube.com/chatNFL and click that subscribe button. And then also, make sure to put Yinzer or Steeler in the comment section so we know that you're representing Steeler Nation. All right, so now I'm going to be going into some reasons why I personally wouldn't trade for Jalen Carter if I were Omar Khan and the Steelers front office. Number one, the off-field concerns are definitely real, okay? You give somebody, that's had behavior issues in college, millions and millions of dollars that come with being a top 10 pick. I mean, is he really going to improve in that department? He was somebody, Todd McShay reported that some scouts believed had some behavior issues, and then of course the whole situation with the car crash and everything there where that led to a death to his teammate and a Georgia staffer, leading to his arrest, actually. And, it's definitely interesting, but, the off-field concerns are definitely real, and it's definitely possible that he is available there at number 9 if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers because of that. Number 2 on my list for why the Steelers should maybe avoid trading up for Carter is will he be in shape, right? He had his pro day just a couple of weeks ago. He had added like 10 pounds compared to his combine weight, which was just like 2 weeks prior, and then he couldn't even finish the workouts. He was cramping up. That was one of the worst, if not the worst pro day performance I have ever seen. And, with all this stress and stuff going around his life right now, is he really going to be able to get back in playing shape here before the start of camp? I think that is a legitimate question mark. And if he's not at that same athletic peak as he was with the Bulldogs on tape, then I would have serious concerns about drafting him in the top 10. And then finally, is he really a true fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like, do they really need to make this move? And personally, I would argue no, they don't. If you look at their defensive line right now, they need more of a true nose tackle. Jalen Carter weighs about 300 pounds. He's a great run blocker, so I guess you could maybe plug him in there at that nose tackle position, but you just signed Larry Ogunjobi to a 3-year deal to play that 3-4 defensive end, and then the nickel defensive tackle spot. You got Cam Hayward, who's still a fantastic all-pro level talent, in my opinion. This isn't a move that the Steelers absolutely need to make, and when you combine those other 2 red flags that come along with Jalen Carter, I'm just not sure it's the smartest move for the Steelers to make at the top of the 2023 NFL Draft. And personally, I would stay put, maybe try to get an offensive tackle, a really good cornerback prospect. This isn't a move that they need to make, and because of those red flags, I wouldn't do it. Now let's move on to Budda Baker here, who has asked to be traded from the Arizona Cardinals, or he wants to get paid he wants to be paid the most for a safety in the NFL right now. And I don't really blame him. The Cardinals are definitely rebuilding. I'm not a huge believer in their new head coach, Jonathan Gannon. If I were Budda Baker, I would want to win, and I would want to win now, or I would want to get the bag. Budda Baker is arguably the best free safety in the National Football League. I would personally go with Minkah Fitzpatrick in that category, but Budda Baker's a fantastic talent, and there's been a lot of people on Steelers Twitter suggesting that if you can combine Budda Baker with Minkah Fitzpatrick, this Steelers secondary would absolutely be unstoppable. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on a potential Budda Baker trade here in just a second, but first get into the comment section and answer this question. Should the Steelers trade for Budda Baker? Type T if you would trade for him, or type P if you would pass on him. Plain simply, guys, I just don't think this is going to happen. There are multiple reasons why this wouldn't happen, in my opinion. First off, they already have a star free safety. Minkah Fitzpatrick, in my opinion, is the best free safety in the National Football League. He is bigger than Budda Baker. I think he's a complete ball hawk. I think, like I say about Minkah, man, he just F's stuff up, man. This guy's just a fantastic player, and Budda Baker, bringing him in, I just don't think Minkah would want to move to that box safety role, that strong safety role. That's what he played in Miami, and we all know how that ended. He demanded a trade out of Miami because of that. I think Minkah wants to play free safety, and he deserves to play free safety. I think he's better than Budda, to be completely honest with you. But if that wasn't big enough, if you didn't already have Minkah, right, I just don't think the Steelers can really afford him right now. Plain and simple, you're paying a bunch of guys some really, really big contracts right now. You got TJ Watt, who's currently the highest paid edge rusher in the National Football League. That is a massive $30 million cap hit average per season. Then you got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's already the second highest paid safety in the league. And of course, you got Cameron Hayward, Deontay Johnson, Chukwuma Okorafor, all making a $10+ million. And then that's not even counting the contracts of Patrick Peterson, Isaac Seumalo, all these guys that they've signed in free agency. I just don't see where you can fit Budda Baker, who wants to get paid like the highest paid safety in the National Football League. Are you really willing to pay two of the top three highest paid safeties in the National Football League? Because that's what you'd be doing if you're trading for him. I just don't see that happening in any world, especially this one. So out of these two trade rumors, which guy would you rather trade for? Would you rather go Jalen Carter, Budda Baker, or you can just say none in the comment section. If you want to go Jalen Carter, type JC, or if you want to go Budda Baker, type BB. That's going to do it for today's show, Yinzers. I really appreciate your support. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you want great NFL draft coverage on your Pittsburgh Steelers, you want daily Steelers videos here all year long, this is the place for you. I promise you, if you click that subscribe button right now, the only regret that you're going to have is that you didn't subscribe sooner.